I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday, and welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me, struggling through life because his esophagus did not get fixed. It's Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell.
But it's getting fixed in December.
Okay.
Because going for an entire calendar year dealing with this shit is exactly what I was hoping for. And not only that, it's the week before my birthday, so I'll still be on a liquid diet on my birthday.
Dude, what's the name of the procedure that they have to do? Does it have a name?
It's called a poem.
A poem?
Poem. Yeah, it is.
POEM?
Yeah. Which stands for something, and I can't remember what it is. It's pretty rare, apparently, and there's only, like, the reason that it's going to be December is because there's literally only one doctor in the entire state that actually does this procedure. As like okay, like I get it, it's pretty rare, so there's only one doctor, but also it's not so rare that he's booked out to fucking December. Like maybe this is
if it's rare, like how many people actually need this between now and then?
Right, like he's booked up from now until the end of the year, so obviously it's not that rare because this dude is going to be busy every single fucking week. Like from what I'm gathering, because I've got I got a friend that's having it done as well. He's going after me, so they do it on Mondays and Thursdays. So like you're telling me it's so rare that only one doctor does it, but also it's so common that the dude is literally booked up twice a week from now till the end of the fucking year. Like
it's an interesting niche.
Yeah,
niche.
I'm sure it costs $1 million too. Luckily, my last gastroenterologist that did literally not a fucking thing for me hit my maximum out of pocket for the year, so I'm free of charge for everything else for the rest of the year.
That's one of the things I want to talk about. But I was going to say, yeah. Have you considered coming down to Mexico and getting this procedure done?
You keep saying that. You keep saying that. Stephanie's going to fuck around and get us our passports updated and everything and have us a flight book down there.
You could probably get updated passports, fly down here, and get the procedure done before December.
I have no doubt about that.
So yeah, I saw like your Facebook post talking about the insurance thing. And then I saw like some chick responded like explaining all the insurance stuff. It's so fucking, and you're just like, I don't understand. Like maybe because I don't do this often enough, I don't understand. Like it's a full-time job trying to understand how your fucking insurance works. It's so convoluted and retarded. Only the government could come up with something like only the retards of like the retardation of Pocahontas and the Squad and Bernie, like they're the only ones that could envision it will take a system that was functioning and fuck it up to this degree. Only the government can do that. It's ridiculous.
And you ask, to what degree exactly? To this degree. The cost of healthcare has more than doubled since 2000.
Yes, and this is Bernie's got his name on it. He posted this. Like, they post this. I would be fucking embarrassed to post this. This is an admission that they suck. They don't just suck. I mean, look at that. Well, could it be any worse if it was just left up to our own devices? These are the guys that have been talking about affordable healthcare for my entire fucking life. We passed that they rammed that affordable healthcare bill down our fucking throats. And yeah, they picked 2000, but you could just pick 2000. Like, where does 2008 fall in that chart? Toward the bottom?
Pulling it back up. Yeah, 2008 was.
What's up, Magoo?
We were in the.
Yeah. So right there.
40, right around 40% tish.
Right. And now we're at 120%.
Yeah, your affordable health act really the ACA Obamacare really made healthcare so much more affordable. That's why it's gone up by over 80%. Just
right. And the trend line didn't change really at all. All they've done is make it more convoluted and expensive and confusing and gay. It's like this chart is government in a nut. It's like, just how does government fucking do anything? It's that chart. Anytime they talk about making things more affordable, it is less affordable than ever before. Less affordable than anybody could have ever imagined. I'd love to see all those fucking projections from the CBO. Oh, yeah, this is going to do this. This Obamacare is going to do that. Oh, yeah. They projected it was going to go from 40% to 120%. Okay. Yeah. You fucking idiots. I cannot believe they post this stuff. I mean, Bernie Sanders, like, this is one of his big things. So if you, like, this is like your report card. You just got fucking straight Fs for the last 25 years, and somehow you want us to give you more money and more support.
Yeah, for Bernie Sanders to post this when he's the guy that talks about this all the time, and you know how important all of this, and if we look at it, most of these like Affordable Care Act type things get passed. So what you're telling us is you have done all of this shit to make healthcare more affordable, and this was the result. And then you're going to post that and be like, we need to do more. Like, motherfucker, you've already
double
done
down
enough.
on the most retarded thing ever. It is mind-boggling. Like, even if, okay, let's say he didn't have retarded ideas and he had great ideas and he wasn't able to implement them. Well, either way, what are you still doing there? Like, get these people the fuck out. Even if you like their ideas, clearly he's not able to implement them over 25 years. He's had 25 fucking years to do this. It's failed miserably. And like you said, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, was passed. Republicans never repealed it. They didn't fucking touch it. Nobody touches any of this shit. All they did was you lost your doctor, you lost your healthcare plan, and the price of everything went up exponentially. And now it's so fucking confusing. We should I don't know if that friend of yours would mind if we read her the response on Facebook, but like just like your eyes just fucking glaze over trying to figure out like how your fucking insurance works. It's unbelievable. And you're getting different answers from everybody. And she's like, oh yeah, you can't rely on the people telling you what you owe to give you the right information. You have to tell them. I was like, wait, what? This is the most retarded system of all time. And here they are back again asking for more. How could anybody believe in this fucking system? It's so bizarre. And if they didn't have, I mean, imagine if they didn't have the other party to play, because Bernie Sanders would be like, oh, Republicans, and all the retards would be like, oh, yeah, it's because of the Republicans. And the Republicans can be like, it's because of the Democrats. And all the retarded Republicans can be like, oh, yeah, it's because of the Democrats. No, it's not. No, it's because of government. It's because of both those fucking parties. Like, that's the problem. They can't do any of the things that they say they can do. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't. But they don't want to.
Okay.
God damn, is this frustrating?
I'll read it because this was the explanation my friend gave. Because I worded this wrong, and that was my fault. I said that that I'd gotten a letter
You
from my
said
insurance
deductible,
saying,
right? Yeah.
yeah, I said deductible, and I don't. It's
Right.
I
Again,
don't have to pay anything. I don't have to pay anything else out of pocket. Is that my deductible? Apparently that's the maximum out of pocket. I don't fucking know. This year is literally the first time in 40 years that I've ever had to go to the doctor for any legitimate reason. I've never used my health care or my health insurance ever at any point. So like this is all Greek to me anyway. And apparently it's some fucked up combination of Greek and Chinese, and you're not supposed to be able to read it unless you're actually like a healthcare professional who does this every day for a fucking living. My aunt used to do insurance, and she actually texted me and said, "Do you want me to look at this stuff?" I was like, "No, I get it. I know what's going on. I just don't know what the fucking words are for it because it's all fucking written in
it's all this jargon." And if you, like you said, if you just take, like most people think, okay, yeah, like your deductible, that's anything over that you wouldn't have to pay. That makes sense to me.
After meeting your yearly
apparently,
deductible,
no, that's not correct. And if
Yeah.
you use that word, you get this long explanation as to why.
Yeah, after meeting your yearly deductible, you usually have a co-insurance that kicks in next. Most insurances are 90-10, but some are 80-20 or 70-30, and even 50-50. The only time visits don't cost you anything is when you meet your out-of-pocket maximum for the year. This should be listed on your benefits. FYI, insurance reps don't understand anything about your plan, so definitely don't go by what they tell you. You have to tell them. If you want me to review your bills with you and make sure you're being processed correctly, I'd be glad to. Like that.
Okay, so what would you say you do here, insurance reps? If you
Right.
can't tell me the fuck how my policy works.
Right. So then we come back, and I was like, all right. I said, I guess I meant out of pocket, like I explained it. I mean, so then I get some clarify. Okay, just clarifying so I can help you make sure you aren't being taken advantage of. Oftentimes, these doctors' offices aren't re-verifying your insurance to check with these things either. I would suggest calling your insurance company directly. Ask the benefits department what your yearly deductible is, co-insurance, after deductible, and out-of-pocket maximum, and write those numbers down, and then ask them how much of your deductible.
No, I'm not doing all of that.
Like, yes, absolutely, no fucking
I have
way
a
am I
fucking
doing any of this
secretary?
bullshit at all. Like, right, I need to hire somebody just to figure out what the fuck's going on with my health insurance. Like I said, once I get my esophagus fixed, that's it. I will never go back to another fucking doctor ever as long as I fucking live. I will just die happy. I don't like. That's been the worst part of this is thinking that there's like a solution and that, oh shit, like I'm going to actually get fixed. And then finding out it's going to be 2.5 fucking months later before I can get fixed. Like, thank you for I understand why people just like put a bullet through their fucking head instead of dealing with like, maybe Canada got it right. Maybe euthanasia is the way to go. It's
because in Canada it wouldn't be December. It would be December of 2027 or something.
Yeah,
like you're not getting in there in Canada anytime soon. They come down to the U.S. because it's only 2 months. That's a great fucking deal. And a lot of them come to Mexico for anything else. They all come down. All these fucking Canucks come down here and get their teeth worked on. Yeah, dude. I don't even have health insurance. I'm not fucking deal. Dude, the amount of money I fucking pissed down the goddamn drain from like age 22 to age 35, 38 or something. If I had just thrown that into a fucking an indexed fund, S&P 500, you probably could have fucking retired on that. And if anything happens, yeah, I'll just come down to fucking Mexico and pay, 10 grand for what would cost like $1 million in the US. They have completely fucked this up. And you can't get like the basic, dude. I remember what I had all this fucking insurance and like anytime like anything minor, I was like, maybe like I should see a doctor. And I would think about how fucking convoluted and fucked up that shit. And I don't know which doctors I can go. Are they in the network? Are they in the network? Fuck it. Nope, not doing it. I'll just suffer. I'll just figure it out. I'll probably be fine. It's an unmitigated disaster. And they should all be fucking just removed from all. Dude, shut it all down. Shut it the fuck down. You show that if this was like some sort of private company and they convinced you, your business, be like, hey, if you give us this money, well, this is how we're going to make this like the best product ever. And it's going to be cheaper and more affordable than ever before with higher quality and everything. And then 25 years go by and I show you that chart and I'm just like, yep, time to re-up your subscription to my fucking bit. No, nobody's doing that. You cannot do any worse than what they've done so far. You'd be better off at, like, dude, if we just had a bunch of fucking monkeys in charge of healthcare, it would be easier. Fucking idiots, man. And this is how they do everything.
Make it as convoluted as possible so that nobody can I mean, that's why you have to have that's why people go to college and become tax professionals so that they can understand the tax code so that you can file your so that they can file your taxes for you, because there's absolutely no fucking way that you alone are going to figure out how to do your taxes.
No. And it's all again, just because they got all these fucking lobbyists that pay off the politicians to get their fucking language in there. You know, I was talking to somebody who used to be a lobbyist for like one of those vape companies. And dude, like when I tell you how fucking micro it gets down into the language, like they're probably paying, you know, some fucking politician hundreds of thousands of dollars to get like one little fucking sentence in there about like the import tax on tobacco, because like the tax is based on like how much tobacco you import or something. And because the vape thing is like pure tobacco, they're taking in a much higher percentage of tobacco than like a tobacco company that takes in all the other fucking shit that they throw into cigarettes or something like that. And so they were getting killed on this tax. And so they tried to get this language in there to change the tax rate on tobacco for vape. Like it just little shit like that. That's why these bills are 2,000 pages long. And that's why the tax code is so convoluted. And that's why you need a fucking lawyer for everything. And the lawyers love it. And the fucking, the accountant, the accounting firms fucking love it. And the health insurance company, they fucking love how convoluted this is. I mean, imagine if you could start a business and the people that are receiving the services aren't the ones paying. You get to go to somebody else and be like, oh yeah, pay me this. Like, and by the way, it's not their money. They take it from somebody else. So they don't give a shit either.
And then they just make out a bill. We did this, and this, and you weren't there for it, so you don't know, but this is what you're going to pay us for.
Yeah. And they say, okay, hang on, let me just put a gun to somebody's head, take their money, and I'll get it to you. And
then when they do literally nothing, they can be like, yeah, we gave you adequate service. You were provided sufficient care. Thank you for doing literally nothing for me at all, period.
That plus, like, you got all these, I heard AOC out there, they're talking about how, the Republicans want to shut down the government and rip your health care away from you. And so they force you, they make the thing that you had, that you were happy with, illegal. They force you into these fucking bullshit government plans. They attach it to your employment. That goes back to the wage and price controls of World War II, government enforced shit. Like, they're like, oh yeah, why is it tied to your employment? That's one of the most retarded things ever. You lose your job, you lose your health insurance. That's fucking retarded. Why is it like that? Oh, because of the government.
Well, and that creates a good segue into like the main topic of the week, the government shutdown. Like, nobody's losing their health coverage. Nobody at all. In fact, the continuing resolution that the Republicans voted on and passed in the House and that the Democrats stalled in the Senate is the same fucking continuing resolution that they've been passing for the last 2.5 years. This was the Biden spending, like the Biden spending bills. They haven't stopped just continuing those same continuing resolutions. But as soon as Trump goes into office, now the Democrats start trying to add shit back in and giving it a problem. Like,
yeah, they basically erased Biden's name and they wrote in Donald Trump.
And nothing else
changed. Okay, pass this. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. We don't want to pass Trump's continuing resolution.
Well, and then these retard fucking Democrats are like, oh, no, we're not shutting down the government so we can give illegal immigrants health care. And then, like, one of their own can't stop but being stupid and saying the quiet parts out loud.
returning back to Detroit this morning after the Republicans failed to show up in the U.S. House. We got to make sure Americans have the health care that they need. And if that means we got to shut this government down, so be it.
Yeah. So that like I was saying, like they force you into government controlled shit. And then when anything goes wrong with the government, they're like, you're going to lose this, you're going to lose that, you're going to lose these benefits, or you better vote for me because I'm the one that's going to protect you from it. It's a fucking trap. It's how they keep you trapped in dependency in perpetuity. And it's how they guarantee themselves a job being a fucking parasite. I don't know. Yeah, dude, Magoo, that guy is so fucking weird looking. He's like a cartoon character. It's infuriating. And you'd be so much better off if you just shut it down.
He's like the cartoon making fun of Indians from like the 60s.
Yeah. And it looks like his face is like legitimately drawn on with like chicks' makeup pencils or whatever they use. It really is just unbelievable how bad of a job they do. And they keep getting more and more money.
And apparently the Democrats are going to keep the government shut down for as long as they can. Good. because Trump is mean and has been trolling Hakeem Jeffries.
No way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
So
Donald Trump posted this on Truth Social, and Hakeem Jeffries and the rest of the left got just all up in arms, pissed off about it.
Yeah. So for the listening audience, that was Hakeem Jeffries standing next to Chuck Schumer, and they did like a deep fake of Chuck Schumer talking. That's what you heard, but they put a sombrero and like a mustache on Hakeem Jeffries and played the fucking mariachi music.
So, and what's even better about this is the insane fucking media then asked JD Vance about this at one of his press conferences.
Okay, go ahead and ask the second question.
So the president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer.
I saw
recently. You said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful to post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him?
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking, and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I've talked to the president of the United States about that.
Do we have any of Hakeem Jeffries' reaction? Because he was such a little bitch about it. It was hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure I could find them.
So Hakeem Jeffries comes out and he's talking about how, this is racist and disrespect, blah, 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 blah. And of course, they throw the sombrero back on him and they have Trump being a fucking mariachi band in the background.
And then what's really funny was, did you see Anna Paulina Luna and a bunch of the other Republicans were all changed their Twitter profile pictures to them with sombreros on and the mustache? Like the right has been leaning into it and making fun of
because they have a fucking sense of humor. Dude, the left is so they're such a bunch of humorless pussies. They don't realize, they start freaking out. Oh, this is racist. This is so disrespectful. And they just keep, anybody that comes out and says something like that gets the sombrero treatment. And it's absolutely hilarious. It just gets funnier and funnier. They took something that if they didn't say anything or they didn't really react to it, it probably just would have been a one-off Trump tweet. But now it's this thing. And the more they do it, the funnier it gets. And the more they do it, the more the left freaks out. If you don't have the Hakeem Jeffries thing, we can play the way the corporate press is treating this story, because it's really I mean, they are deeply, deeply offended, Justin.
Oh, hang on. Let me find it. I've got a good one. It was Trump posted this on Twitter. It's him and Hakeem Jeffries making up. Hang on, I got it.
No, I didn't see this one.
Oh, this one's good. Trump is having too much fun with the AI.
Yeah, it's tough. Dude. All right, let me
with the big Trump 2028. Has anybody run a poll, like just like a random Twitter poll? Like, would you vote for Trump in 2028? I bet it would be overwhelmingly yes. Probably
they would really freak out. I mean, you would think, most, like JD Vance is saying, he's like, yeah, he's joking around, he's having a good time. Most normal people can like have a chuckle at these kinds of things, but if you listen to the corporate press, this is on the Megyn Kelly show, they are beside themselves. This is their reaction to the sombrero thing. By the way, and it's like quite literally all he did was, they put a sombrero and a mustache on Hakeem Jeffries and they played like fucking Mexican music. That's all they did, right? There wasn't anything else really that was done, as far as I know.
Does that shameful man do something that draws a sombrero and a mustache?
Not showing this video that Donald Trump put out, this fake video. It is absolutely disgusting.
Say it to my face.
Trump is continuing to post racist and bizarre AI videos. Not going to play that.
It is the ugliest, possibly the single most demented thing he has ever done on social media.
I'm not going to play the whole video because we don't find it meets our standards. So we're the news. We're not going to tell you what it is. Hateful, kind of bigoted, doctored image.
You'll have a very easy time finding it, but you won't find it on this program. I am not going to use this hour to show that kind of Trump filth and depravity.
Dude, so they were literally like more offended by that than they were of like the people dancing on Charlie Kirk's grave.
And
quite
then
literally.
Here's
the
JD
most
Vance.
depraved thing he's ever done on social media, Justin.
Here's JD Vance's response to Joy Reid saying that he was a DEI hire getting into Yale. Like JD Vance just leans into the memes and the jokes and have you seen him like repost the stuff of like the fat JD with the big curly hair, like sitting on the couch and shit? They're like, it's fucking hilarious. Like why can't the left just have like? Why can't the left just have like the tiniest modicum of essential humor? Like just laugh at shit. You would be so much happier.
Yeah. No, there used to be like a bumper sticker. It's like, how do you drive a liberal crazy? It's like, be happy and like work hard or something. Work hard and be happy. I forget how they phrase it, but dude, we're not going to show it to you. You won't find that smut on our channels. Oh, we only bring you the real news. Dude, I think the reason they won't show it to you is probably because their audience would chuckle at it.
They know it's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Like because and Trump just keeps doubling down on it. Like
bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault. Bigotry.
Yeah, say it to my face. Okay, bro. We're just gonna keep throwing fucking sombreros on you. You might as well just treat them like fucking clowns. They are.
The more butthurt you get about it, the more we're gonna make fun of you. Like,
and the funnier it becomes. Every single time, it's a little funnier than it was the last time because you are even that much more butthurt. It's great. All you had to do was like kind of lean into it and make a joke, be able to laugh at yourself or something. You could have. There's like a million ways you could. Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, that was pretty funny. But then you can like spin it into like what's not funny is that like, all these poor people are missing this and missing that, and I'm trying to do that. And Donald Trump's making jokes, blah 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 blah.
Except that they're not. The only reason they would be missing anything is if the government shut down, which it did. And the left is like trying to spin why they shut it down, and it's totally not because we want healthcare for like free healthcare for illegals, except that it's they keep failing to actually defend that position whenever it's brought up. Hakeem Jeffries being one of those in particular.
Trump blessed it as well.
So let me ask you about a provision that the Republicans are talking about quite a bit. I know you want to talk about, and Democrats want to talk about, extending the Obamacare subsidies, which expire at the end of 2025. But they talk about the provisions, and it's right here, subtitle E, and this has to do with the repeal of healthcare subtitle changes, and specifically what it is. How they characterize it is, you want to give health insurance to undocumented immigrants. I understand that's not really an accurate depiction, but what it does do is...
It's a lie.
It's a lie, but what you support does bring back funding for emergency Medicaid to hospitals, some of which does pay for undocumented immigrants and people who don't have health insurance. And also there is this provision, and it's not about undocumented immigrants, it's about people with asylum seekers and people with temporary protected status, et cetera, but about their ability to get Medicaid. So they're non-citizens, they're not undocumented, they're not illegal. Why even include that in a bill, knowing that they're going to seize right upon that and use that to message? I understand that
Donald.
Like, yeah, you're not exactly giving health care to illegals, but also this line and this line and this line say you want to give healthcare to illegals and also to non-citizens who aren't technically illegals, but they're still non-citizens. And why would you want to do that when you know that, like, that's the thing that they're going to hit you on? It's like, it's really in the fucking
it's a lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a total lie. We don't want to do that, except that
It's a
like
lie,
here are
except
these
it's
three
totally
different
true.
places where you definitely want to do that.
And then I forget who posted the it might have been the Tom Elliott account or whatever. It posted the clip from the Democratic debate that I sent you.
Yeah.
Because every single one of these, like Schumer, they were all out there like, this is bullshit. We would never want to give healthcare to illegals.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
And 2, 4, 6, 8. There's like 11 people.
Raise
up.
your hand if
Every
government-
single one of them raised their hand.
The whole board.
Every single one of them raised their hand. And then they act like, no, we weren't going to do that. Nobody supported that.
Nobody was trying to give health care for illegals and undocumented and non-citizens. At least Hakeem Jeffries can actually like hear what's going on and is able to answer questions about this stuff. He's doing a lot better than Schumer has been on it.
Every Republican who's gone on TV the last 12 hours or so has called this the Schumer shutdown. What do you say about that name? Senator Schumer, can you hear me?
I can't hear.
Senator Schumer, can you hear me? I don't think Senator Schumer can hear me right now. Maybe the government shutdown included audio on Capitol Hill.
The one time CNN had a half-assed decent joke. That's amazing. Who is that guy?
The old technical difficulty. Get me out of this question.
Remember when? And I only remember this because it popped up in my Facebook memories recently. Because the girls we had shirts made for both of the girls, and they also did a video of them saying it. Remember when Nancy Pelosi was on like Good Morning America? What's the Sunday show on like NBC? Anyway, Nancy Pelosi was doing like an interview, and like mid-interview, she just like stops and she goes, "Good morning, Sunday morning." Like that brain just full on reset. Meet the press. Yeah, that's what it was. Meet the press, where she just had a full on brain reset in the middle of the fucking interview and goes, "Good morning, Sunday morning." We had the girls did videos where we would record them just sitting there at the kitchen table going, "Good morning, Sunday morning," and then we had shirts made for them to wear to school. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they are some fucking lizard people. They really. God damn. Oh man. All right. So yeah. Trump's exponentially better at trolling than they are. They just don't have a fucking chance. They cannot compete in this kind of landscape. And they still haven't seemed to figure out that like just like feigning fucking outrage and whatnot over like the most fucking inoffensive things is not going to get you anywhere. You've called Trump racist 50,000 fucking times in the last 6 months. It didn't win you the election. It didn't win you the first election in 2016. Like, you gotta make an adjustment.
Here's the official White House Twitter. Every day Democrats keep the government shut down, the sombrero gets 10 times bigger. We weren't kidding.
That wall just got 10 feet higher.
This is amazing. Like, see, this is the level of idiocracy I want from my government. Because there's no reason to take it seriously. Give me the full-on meme government. That's what I want.
Yeah. What else can you do at this point? You know, lean in, dude. Like, they should really lean into making fun of these people, because there's, you know, they call you a racist and you're not like, what are you supposed to do other than just start mocking them? The whole thing is just, it's so much better than politics before Donald Trump. It's so much more entertaining.
Right.
And they're just such a bunch of fucking humorless pussies. They can't meme. We are now in like the era of government, like meme government, and they cannot do it. They are so bad at trying to make jokes. Like Donald Trump broke their funny bones. They just don't have it anymore. And the left used to be like the funny ones historically. All right.
What was it? Gavin Newsom posted one the other day that was just straight up fucking bad. Oh, where'd it go? It was like trying to make fun of JD Vance, and then Vance just turned around and started reposting it everywhere, like with his own twists on it. It's like, it doesn't work if like the reason. Oh, there it is. Hang on. This is the Gavin Newsom's JD Vance meme that just kind of ended up flopping because it was actually terrible, and also Vance leaned into it.
If you're flying today, I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today, starting today. And obviously, the longer this drags on, the worse that it is for the American people. If you're flying...
Like, this is what the left thinks is a meme. That's not funny.
It's terrible, dude. It's so cringe. Did you see the cat lady one that they did? The one with the cats?
No.
Dude, it was like they took that like stock voice that people use for like Instagram reels or whatever, and they're like, Democratic kitty wants to give you healthcare. Republican kitty wants to take healthcare. It was like the most, but like it was so bad, dude. So fucking bad. It really is unbelievable how bad they are at this. And it is like, as bad as you think they are worse. And then each time they just get more and more fucking cringy. Trevor Moore. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what Forte's talking about, but I heard a clip of it, and it was just, I don't know, maybe because like there are a lot of like Democratic cat ladies out there, like single cat ladies. Maybe they were trying to appeal to them with this kitty thing. Don't know. But I don't know how they are going to like, they just don't have anybody that can compete at this game. And if the Republicans are smart, they will not change the game. Even after in the wake of Trump, like they should not go back to trying to be like fucking Mitt Romney's. That doesn't appeal to anybody. But this fucking meme shit is absolutely hilarious. And it gets people's attention. And it makes the Democrats look like fucking retards. It's a great move on their part. Donald Trump's like the GOAT at it, but you don't even have to be that good to dance circles around the left when it comes to making jokes and memes and funny fucking videos and everything like that.
Well, and Homeland Security is getting in on the, like, have you seen the official Homeland Security Twitter feed? It's October 3rd. You know, that's the Mean Girls meme on October 3rd. He asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd, a great day for deportations.
Yeah, like, dude, that would be a if I had to get a government job, I think it would just be like vice president in charge of memes. That would be a fun one. Maybe we should I do want to talk about the Treasury buyback stuff. All right. Target hit. Just took a little scalp there. Sorry if I seemed a little distracted.
Here, you be distracted. I'll play the kitty thing.
All right. Yeah, play the kitty thing.
Kitty explains government shutdown.
Republican and Democrat kitties cannot agree on what should be funded. Democrat kitties want you to have health care. Republican kitties do not. Republican kitties control the Senate, House, and the White House, so they're using that to cut your health care and give money to billionaires. Democrat kitty tries to negotiate, but Republican kitty keeps running away. He has a vacation to get to. Uh-oh. Suddenly the money you pay for your health insurance has tripled. Thanks, Republicans.
Like, that is so bad. Remember, or was it maybe earlier this year or something, where they tried to do that video where they were like introducing AOC and a couple other congresswomen as like fighters? It had something to do with like a cartoon that I don't, but it was just so bad. What's that cartoon? I don't know, dude. They cannot. I don't know. They need like to hire a fucking consultant that can teach them how to do funny things.
The problem is the things that are actually funny, they think are offensive, so they can't do funny because.
And they're just kind of like hyper. They're like hyper partisan, and that almost by definition isn't funny. You have to be able to like make fun of yourself a little bit, and then you can make fun of other people. I guess you have to be able to find the funny on both sides. If it's just, that's why Kimmel can't, like, he's not funny, and all the other fucking late night talk show hosts. But yeah,
it's like when people try to like make fun of my intelligence or call me a redneck. It's like I literally put hillbilly boy in my fucking username. Like, you think you can use that to offend me? Like, if anything, that just helps me double down more, because even though I'm some dumb fucking redneck, I can still run circles around you intellectually. So like, where does that put you?
Yeah. Well, let's before we get into the Treasury buyback stuff,
I was gonna say there are things that this dumb hillbilly does not understand at all, and I need somebody much smarter and more proficient to explain that.
I don't think I mean, yeah, I know a little bit more about this area than some people. I think I can break it down for the dumbest among us.
Put it in.
If I can understand, I think that's how I can explain stuff, because like I'm such an idiot. It takes me a lot. I have to like, how would I like to be taught this if I was like in 5th grade or something?
What was it? Einstein said, like, if you can't teach it to a 5-year-old, then you don't understand it. Like, that's
yeah. So yeah, before we get into that, let's just thank our sponsor for today's show, which is the Expat Money Online Summit 2025, October 10th through the 12th. It's coming up. It's a week away. This is put on by Mikhail Thorpe. He is the foremost expert on how to become an expat, maximize your liberty and your freedom by moving abroad or moving your investments abroad, diversifying your portfolio, putting in your Latin American plan B. You guys can take it from me, navigating these countries. I mean, like we've been talking about how convoluted government makes everything. yeah, navigating these other countries and how to get yourself set up in other countries is as convoluted as you can possibly imagine. So check this out. You can sign up for free, and Mikkel will show you the shortcuts and how to get through how to navigate all of these troubled waters so that you can protect yourself from our retarded government when they start to come after you and all of your assets. You have a plan B in place to maximize your liberty and your freedom. Expat Money Summit 2025. Going to be some great speakers there, so make sure you go check that out. All right. Treasury buyback. So what have you, let me just ask you what you've been hearing about Treasury. Okay, the bar chart thing. Yeah. Go ahead and read that.
Yeah, the US Treasury buys back another $2 billion of their own debt. This makes for a total buyback this week of $4.9 billion. And if I was looking at the numbers right, it's I want to say it's somewhere upwards of 170 billion total. Is that right?
That sounds about right. Yeah, a few weeks ago I was looking at this and it was at like 130 billion. So yeah, that checks out. I was going to say 150 plus. Yeah, right around there, which is a lot more. That's more than they did in all of 2024. That's why bar chart keeps putting these things out like, hey, they're what the government's buying back all these treasuries. So okay, where do we want to? So first of all, we have the US Treasury, right? And then we have treasuries. Treasuries are they are government debt. They are issued in different increments. So if you hear treasury bills, treasury notes, treasury bonds, it's all government debt. It's just how long the maturity is. So treasuries are anywhere from a couple weeks to a year. Treasury bills, sorry. Treasury notes are between 2 and 10 year maturities, and then treasury bonds are 20 or 30 years.
All right, okay. It's 138 billion in bonds.
Okay, 138 billion. Yeah, but that's as of what date?
Last week.
Okay. No, that's September, dude, right? Yeah. That's last month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like last month it was at 130 something. And yeah, now I wouldn't be surprised if they've added another 50 billion or whatever. So this has nothing to do with the Federal Reserve. This is all the Treasury Department. Okay. And basically what they're doing is they're buying back old bonds or previously issued bonds. But in order to do that, since the government has no money, they have to issue new bonds to do that. It would be one thing if like we had this big surplus and they're like, okay, we're going to buy back some of our debt. Basically, pay off some of this debt. But they're not doing that. So if they have a $1 million treasury bond, they want to buy that back, they have to issue a new $1 million worth of treasuries to get the money to buy that back. So as far as God damn it. Of course, when I take the little scalp, it just keeps dropping, Justin. I just left fucking Jesus. It's just going to keep going. Sorry.
Ask if you can do a buyback on that.
Yeah. Can I get my position back? Yeah. I was like, let me just take the low hanging fruit. And a lot of times I'll just I'll trail my stop to the low hanging fruit and hope for it to run. This time I didn't do that because it's all your guys' fault. And it literally just sank another 60 handles.
The trick is you got to take the profit that you want to make and then just walk away and don't look at it.
I know. I should have closed the charts, but it's just sinking like a fucking stone. And it's every single time. Like if I had moved my stop up a little bit, it would have immediately come back up and basically stopped me out at break even. And if I take the low hanging fruit, then it just keeps running. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Anyway, sorry. I will close the charts. I apologize. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So basically they have to issue new debt to buy off this old debt. So as far as the economy is concerned, nothing changed. Nothing changed. They had $1 million worth of debt out there. They bought that back, but in order to buy that back, they issued another $1 million worth of debt. The only thing that's changing are the interest rates, right? Because interest rates they're buying back they're for the most part,
they're buying back those 30-year bonds and 20-year bonds, and they're issuing Treasury bills 4 weeks up to a year, maybe some notes to replace it. So they're replacing longer term debt with short term debt. Now, there are a couple reasons to do that. One, like I said, the interest rate's lower, so the debt service is a little lower. However, like we're talking about $170 billion worth of debt. Like that seems like a large number. To a normal person, that's a lot of money. To our fucking $37 trillion worth of debt, that's a spit in the ocean. It's a rounding error. So they're not really saving that much money. But that is a benefit of it, right? The other reasons they're doing that is there's the clock. 37.769 trillion and counting.
As we want.
So and a lot of this buyback happened in anticipation of the rate cut. So they're anticipating rates to go down, and they want to take advantage of that. Now, the Treasury, not even the Treasury Department can control where Treasury rates are. When the government wants to sell this debt, they have these auctions. You might hear in some financial news be like, oh, we had great interest in this 30-year Treasury auction. Or more recently, you'd hear, oh, there was not a lot of interest in that Treasury auction, and they didn't, they wanted to raise this much and they couldn't. Or, they offer their treasuries at a rate, and depending on how many people and other countries and institutions and banks and everything are interested in that, if there are no buyers at 3.8%, then they offer it at 3.9 and then 4 and then 4.2, and then they just keep offering higher and higher rates until people buy the debt. The Federal Reserve can control the Fed funds rate. They can lower it like they just did a couple of weeks ago. But that really only affects the federal fund, like how banks borrow from each other. And then it affects like tangentially. What word am I trying to say?
Tangentially?
Yes, thank you. All the debt around it. So the closer in time that the debt is to the Fed, like the Fed funds rate, that's like a day, right? So if you have like a 6-month Treasury bill, it's affected a lot more by an interest rate cut than a 30-year bond would be. So the farther out in time you go, the less impact the Fed funds rate has on the debt being issued, on the interest rates. So one of the other reasons why the Treasury is buying back these 30-year bonds and issuing Treasury bills, in addition to getting the lower rates, is those bonds are now more sensitive to any rate cuts. They go up in value as the rates go lower. But the real problem that the Treasury's been having, we've talked about this on a couple of different issues when we talked about the stable coins. They need to create demand for these treasuries, and demand has been falling worldwide for U.S. government debt, in particular 30-year bonds, 20-year bonds, because who wants to loan fucking you look at our financial situation, 37.7 trillion, no plan to slow that down. You have the whole BRICS agreement and countries moving away from this, dollar being the reserve currency, dollar hegemony and all that. So demand is falling for treasuries, and they're trying to come up with ways to increase demand.
Right. How many people think this country still will exist in 30 years? Much like,
Right. Yeah. So a lot less people want to loan the government money for 30 years. I mean, you're taking on a lot more risk, right? Like I know with fair amount of certainty that in 6 months, inflation, maybe it's 3.8% or something if it shoots up 4%. But it's like in 30 years, I have no idea where it's going to be, except that it's going to be a lot higher. So the demand for these longer term bonds has been falling. precipitously. They've had a bunch of these failed auctions that I mentioned. And so they're trying to come up with ways to generate demand for treasuries because they want these treasuries to be a very liquid market. They want people to be able to buy and sell them at will and have confidence that if I buy a 30-year bond and for whatever reason I need to get rid of it, that there will be a market. It will be a very liquid market. It'll be very easy for me to find a buyer. So what this does as they buy back those 30-year bonds and they're issuing more short-term debt, there is a lot more demand for the short-term debt worldwide. So that solves one issue. And then on the other side is they're basically backstopping the market for longer-term debt. If anybody that's selling a 30-year bond right now is probably selling it to the US government. And that props up the price. And it gives you the illusion that there is still a very liquid market in these treasury bonds, even though nobody fucking wants them except for the US government. And the only reason the US government wants it is to create the illusion that other people want it. That, I think, is the main reason as to why they're doing all these buybacks, because they're not really saving that much money on 170 billion going from 4% to 3.2% or whatever the rates are. They want to ensure the rest of the world that there will always be liquidity for these types of bonds. It would be like if you had like some product that you were selling. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know if they do this with like farm stuff like corn and shit like that. But like if you were selling all this corn and all of a sudden nobody was buying corn and the price was just dropping precipitously, you would step in to buy some of that corn to keep the price up.
That's every year.
Yeah.
In commodity market, in commodity markets, especially in a seasonal commodity market like grain, that's literally every year. So you have different pieces of the industry that will step in and more or less put pressure on the pricing system at the time to maintain certain levels of pricing. Like if you're on the buying side of it, you don't want to keep it up too high, but also you don't want it to go too low, because if it goes too low, then nobody's going to sell to you because nobody can make money. So like you need to maintain a equilibrium type of a price where they can make money, you don't lose money, everybody's kind of happy. And so yeah, you do have different pressures that hit throughout the course of the seasons that will kind of keep things stable. So this is kind of the Treasury attempting to create some stability in which the fucking like crazy thing about this is like this all happens naturally in the commodity markets where like, and it has been happening for 100 years plus for as long as these markets have existed, where they figure out where the ebbs and flows are throughout the course of the year. And as the seasons change and everything, and like, once you get a good idea of how those markets work, you can kind of watch it year to year and see like, all right, just hang on for a minute because it's going to take a run whenever we start getting these reports, or like hold off. Things are about to like really take a dive because we're about to hit that part of the year. So you want to hold off and let things kind of run and then see how it goes after that. The fact that the Treasury has been doing this for as long or longer, and like they've allowed it to get this out of control, just shows how like the lack of competition and the lack of anything like resembling a true market has allowed them to just run this thing into the fucking ground. And now you're seeing all of this response to that to try to have a course correction. And then it just looked like it's too little too late on a lot of this stuff. Like
they're trying to prop up a Ponzi scheme, essentially.
170 billion looking at 37 trillion is it's nothing.
Yeah, it's not really going to affect like how much interest they have to pay on the total debt, but like I said, like the demand for these things worldwide and with like the banking institution stuff is falling on the long end of the curve. And the only way that they can kind of control that, because the Fed doesn't have any, the Fed can't really influence a 30-year bond by cutting the Fed funds rate. So the only way that they can kind of give the illusion that this is still a stable market and that there's still liquidity here is to buy this back. And the reason they've had to buy back more and more and more is because the interest, or the people that are interested in buying 30-year and 20-year bonds and probably even 10-year notes is falling, keeps falling. So they're going to have to keep buying more and more to prop it up. I think that is the main reason they're doing it. But yes, there's also the added benefit of rolling over higher interest debt for lower interest debt. But if they lose control of the short-term rates, the problem is like that, that stuff gets rolled over more frequently. So they're going to have to keep rolling over that debt every 6 months, every year, maybe every 2 years, depending on what they're buying. You can go on like the Federal Reserve website and they will show you like what they're buying, what they're swapping out, their 30-year for like a 10-year. And they'll give you I think the reason they actually even list it is like liquidity support or something. They write something like that in there. And yeah, they're trying to support liquidity in a market that nobody's interested in anymore, for good reason, because they're fucking spending like drunken sailors and there's no plan in place. Like nobody is seriously talking about addressing this at all. So I think like even just like a few weeks ago, the deficit just this year so far was like 1.6 trillion or something. Like they're blowing everything out of the water. And to act like, that's why it's so funny that the Democrats are like, they won't pass the continuing resolution to fund the government. It's like, yo, dude, they're funding it at Biden levels and then some. And that's not good enough for you. And it's like, somebody else posted something about the like 54%, the federal government budget is 54% higher today than it was before COVID-19. 54% higher. And we've, they always use these emergencies to pass the temporary spending bill, but it never goes back down. So, did that make sense? That explanation is a little long-winded, but it is a little, it gets a little complicated. But yeah, they're essentially, it has no effect. Like, I don't know, like, people think, oh, Treasury buyback, that's going to have some sort of effect on the economy. It really doesn't, because you're, like I said, you're just swapping out old debt for new debt at a slightly lower rate. But it does sort of backstop the Treasury market and sort of keep this game going for as long as they can. They are running the world's largest Ponzi scheme. And that's not just my opinion. That is the opinion of the man that was arrested for running the world's largest Ponzi scheme, Bernie Madoff. So I think he knows a little something about how to run Ponzi schemes. And if he says the U.S. is running a Ponzi scheme, I'm gonna believe that. I'm gonna believe that. But it's still just mind-boggling that they can get it, like they can do this, and nobody is like freaking out. Like, people should be freaking out that this is how we run the government. It is quite literally everything they do is a goddamn Ponzi scheme. Oh yeah, we want to pay off that. It would be like you paying off your, like paying your mortgage off with a credit card or something. It's swapping one debt for another, and they're just gonna keep this fucking game going until I don't know. Eventually, the music's gonna stop. I don't want to be anywhere near it. There's no fucking way I would loan this government money for 30 years. The rate would have to be a lot higher than what it is. I don't know where the 30-year is, but it's probably under 5%. Is it at 5%? Might be under 5%. I don't know. I closed my charts because I was getting distracted.
You needed to do that.
But, and the gold and silver markets are telling you something, because they are just ripping higher. I mean, gold, I think, touched 3,900 an ounce. Silver is at 48 now, like closing in on 50 real quick. There's a massive double top at 50. I think once it breaks through that, I don't know, it could move pretty quickly. I don't know how high it can go, but it's got a long way to go to catch up to the historic ratio between gold and silver. But that's, I think the institutions are starting to buy now. Actually, even Peter Schiff was talking about that on one of his, I don't know if it was his, like he does a podcast and he does like a gold roundup or whatever on Fridays or something. But he's talking about how the traditional 60-40 stock bond portfolio that all these cookie cutter institutions would recommend for their clients, they've now it might have been Morgan Stanley. It was one of the big investment banks was talking about how they want to they've adjusted that 60, because typically it was like 60% stocks, 40% bonds. That's how you should have your portfolio arranged. Well, now they want to do 60% stocks, 20% bonds, 20% gold. And that's the first time I think they've ever recommended. Yeah, it was Morgan Stanley. That they've recommended something like that. And the institutions, I think, are stepping in and they're just buying. They're starting to, they have been, central banks have been buying gold for the entire year. But now I think you're going to start to see other institutions start to adjust people's portfolio according to that ratio, which will create a lot more demand. And you could see those prices go up pretty high. I don't
know why it took me so long to find this. This is like a little graphic thing that has gone around before of like a million, a billion, and a trillion. So
yeah, it's mind-boggling. You just hear these numbers.
It's like $10,000 is like that stack of hundreds, and then $1 million is those little stacks of hundreds right there, and then $1 billion is all these big ass stacks of.
That's 8 pallets.
Yeah, 8 pallets that are like single high, not even as tall as the guy. So that's and then you look at a trillion, and it's virtually unfathomable.
Yeah, it goes to the moon or something.
It's like each of those. So that was 8 pallets to make the billion. Well, this is
the little guy in the corner.
Yeah, they're stacked too high. So right here in the corner, these right here, that's the billion, and then all the rest of that makes up the trillion. So it's like that's
the only way that your mind can kind of process the numbers that we're talking about. They're so large. It is mind-boggling is the only way I can describe it. And there's just I don't understand how there's not more panic surrounding this.
Because
like people think,
because the numbers are so big, people have no idea what it fucking means. Like it's just 3 more zeros. They don't realize what that 3 more zeros actually means. And so it's just like it's basically it's imaginary. Like it doesn't matter because it doesn't exist, because it's too big to be real.
Well, and it has up until this point, it's taken a really long time to affect your daily life. But if you look at prices today versus just a few years ago, that's the spigot like starting to turn on. And once it really gets going, it's going to be like that. But instead of taking like 3 years to get to this point, it'll take 3 months. And if you're feeling the sting at the grocery store, or the gas pump or something like that, that's what we're talking about. But it is a lot like, it's the boiling frog. Like you just kind of get used to it, and they turn up the temperature a little bit more. But eventually it's going to get, it's going to go parabolic, and I don't know what their solution is going to be other than, destroy the value of the dollar, because these are pussy politicians we're talking about. None of them are going to do the honorable thing, which would be to, at a minimum, default on the debt that, we owe to China and Japan. And at a minimum, they should default on that first. They won't. They'll never admit default. So they'll default through inflation. And I don't know, maybe AI can come to the rescue. A lot of people think that's going to be some sort of silver bullet for this. but they're going to have to stop fucking spending. Like they just have to do it. There's no way you can tax your way out of the like millionaires and billionaires paying their fair share. That's a fucking fantasy. Yeah, they're just depending on the great flood to come just wipe us out to get us out of this problem. Yeah. There's just, it's impossible. No matter how much money they take in, they spend more. There needs to be drastic changes made. And with this shutdown, like Trump will hopefully fire like 700,000 fucking employees. That's a good start. But it has to actually be firing. We can't hire them back. You can't give people back pay. You have to eliminate like entire departments. We're well past this. Like, oh, we can tinker around the edges. No, you can't. You can't. You need to take a hatchet to all this stuff because they are completely out of control. Just completely out of control. And they have been for so long. But the fact that we've designed this system so that the rest of the world needs our dollars, it's allowed us to keep this game going for so much longer than any other country would be able to do so. But yeah, with AI and all this new technology, that's going to go by the wayside too. They're figuring out ways to get around US dollar hegemony. And it's not going to go well for the US unless they start doing major changes. And there's just no appetite for it with these politicians. I mean, with the exception of Thomas Massey, maybe Rand Paul, like nobody's seriously talking about doing anything. So anyway, that's the Treasury buybacks. Hopefully that made sense to everybody. What else? Do we have anything else today? Not really. Yeah. Oh, we're coming up on time.
Is it happy hour tonight? I don't remember. We were gonna have a bonfire. Stephanie quit her job. She got a new job, so she starts the new job on Monday, making quite a bit more money actually. And
no more HR.
Well, she'll still be in HR, but in a similar function, but more just strictly hiring type of a thing. Not really dealing with actual HR stuff. Just hiring people. So she starts that on Monday. So we were having a bonfire and gonna grill out with a buddy and celebrate her last day of work at her current job.
Yeah, I think I can do a happy hour. I want to take the jet ski out for a little rip here. But I can probably be back by 6:30 my time, 7:30 your time. 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll send out the email. Maybe I'll push it back 30 minutes since everybody shows up late anyway. And that'll give me time to get back here. It's a nice day. The bay's looking nice and calm. Not too sunny, so I won't get fucking cooked out there. But yeah, that was good. That was a good show. I like that one. Looking forward to more sombreros.
10 times bigger every day until the Democrats open the government back up.
Well, that's the most despicable, deplorable thing he's ever done online. Is that, according to I forget what fucking douchebag said that. Like, we're not going to show it to you guys. We just cannot. It's too despicable. It's a fucking sombrero on a guy's head. Yeah, meme economy is strong. All right, I'm gonna pull my chart back up, see how much money I left on the table today. Is it still falling, or did we catch a rebound? Down 100. So let's see. Oh yeah, it rebounded.
See, you did good.
I mean, anytime you make money, it's good. And it is, you do have to be content with enough.
We were talking about commodities earlier. I remember the first time soybeans ran up to like $10 a bushel. And for my entire life, $6.50 was like really good price on soybeans, and they ran out to $10. And Dad sold a whole bunch at like $9.25, and then it kept running. He got mad. I was like, dude, you have farmed soybeans literally my entire life at $6 a bushel. If you are not making a fucking killing on $9.25, it's time for you to retire and turn the farm over to me. Like, you're mad about not hitting the top. You just made 1.5 times more money than you've ever made in your life doing this. Like, shut the fuck up and like just be happy for 5 fucking seconds. He looked at me like I was crazy, and he goes, you're right. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, it does. A lot of times it takes somebody to put it in perspective for you. You have to learn how to be content with enough and take your profits when they come. Kenny Power. Yeah. If I join a Mexican baseball league, which the thought has crossed my mind, I will be full Kenny Powers.
Would you play, shortstop or outfield?
I play outfield. I think I can still get out there, run some circles around these guys, center or left. La Flama Blanca. That would be fun. Oh yeah, I missed a nice little reversal. That would have been a good. I could have taken that trade too. Play both sides of it. Oh yeah, that is a great show. Let's see if I can find a topless broad to throw on the back of it today.
Hell yeah.
All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Tuesday. We have no worries about Justin being out of commission. We got a couple of months until he gets fixed. So have a great weekend. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys tonight. Are you working? Are you in?
No, we're having a bonfire celebrating Stephanie's last day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll try
right on. So, until Tuesday, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.